Last year was quite a wild ride for anyone that invested in Bitcoin. The world's most valuable cryptocurrency reached an all-time high when it traded at more than $20,000. But what does Bitcoin have in store for us in the following years? Keep on watching to find out what'll happen to Bitcoin and how it'll impact the trading system.
But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple.
Before America's first global health situation lockdown, which took place earlier in March, Bitcoin had a trading price of less than $4,000. For those investing in it, the cryptocurrency wasn't showing many results when it came to gaining and losing money. But over the following months, it became one of the most entertaining market shows filled with unexpected changes. Despite Bitcoin's trading price going drastically high, it was also the year it gained relative maturity. Even though this kind of digital currency changes when you least expect it, experts have done many statistics as to what the future holds for Bitcoin in the following years. Bitcoin will have more mainstream approval. Although it's existed for over a decade, very few people have been using it. That's because not many understand how this digital currency works, and many others don't trust this digital currency. But in the last few years, Bitcoin has seen a striking evolution in popularity. Even big companies such as Square have purchased around $50 million worth of Bitcoin, as they believe that this will be the future of monetary exchange. After doing this, Square gave Bitcoin a big stamp of approval to be used by thousands of people. In 2021, experts are expecting that the European Bank or the United States will likely announce some kind of system where they'll enable Bitcoin transactions as well as hold its digital currency. Competition from big tech companies will increase. Even though Bitcoin didn't achieve much in its first few years, it's made a big impact when it comes to global entities by offering one common international digital currency. Companies that are involved in these digital transaction methods understand that payments that involve different currencies make things more challenging for them, as well as making them lose a lot of money. The reason behind this is because a transaction in a different currency can involve pricey fees and can even take days to resolve. In the last few years, Bitcoin has proven that one international digital currency can foster the transaction process dramatically. In 2021, Google and Facebook are planning to use Bitcoin's ideology to evolve the digital currency plan furthermore. Facebook is planning to release Libra, which is a new digital currency with cheaper prices. The company is developing to make this new cryptocurrency accessible through applications such as WhatsApp and Messenger, although Libra still isn't on the market. If it reaches massive popularity though, it might decrease Bitcoin's growth a lot. Competition with central banks. With rapidly evolving technology, central banks have concluded that if they don't catch up, they'll likely lose their importance. That's why the Bank for International Settlements has released a report saying that most of the world's central banks are working on creating a new digital currency. China is the #1 nation that has taken digital currency much more seriously than any other place in the world. Lately, Eastern China held a lottery where 100,000 residents received around $30 of digital currency. The winners were very encouraged to link their digital cash to the bank and spend it within a few weeks. This was a great idea on China's part in order to persuade people to use digital currency and to gain confidence in using digital currency. If China succeeds in adapting the digital yuan nationwide, it'll likely decrease the demand for Bitcoin in China. It's also predicted that many other countries will use the same similar experiment to present people to their digital currency, making Bitcoin even less popular than it is at the moment. New regulations. Naturally, assumptions have risen that the Democratic administration will have a stricter regulatory playing field than the Republican one. As Joe Biden won the title of being called president, it's still unsure whether he'll regulate cryptocurrency around the US or not. Even experts on the subject are having a hard time to read whether Joe Biden will help in the development of the cryptocurrency. This issue is more overlooked by Bitcoin enthusiasts. They've predicted that if Joe Biden takes a step forward into regulating a new cryptocurrency system, it'll not be in any favor toward Bitcoin. It actually will be damaged by decreasing its popularity and demand. Bitcoin will continue to be unpredictable. The value of Bitcoin has nothing to do with monetary or fiscal policies, which are a real-world phenomenon. The currency is hard to be predicted, even by the most experienced experts. This makes it hard for the cryptocurrency to be recommended to businesses or anyone that's hoping not to lose a lot of money. Many claim that in the next few years, Bitcoin might reach another all-time high of $50,000. Even though it sounds too good to be true, it's not impossible if companies decide to invest more money and assets into Bitcoin. But as possible as it is that Bitcoin might reach $50,000, it's also possible for it to go down to as little as $2,000. But one thing is for sure, the wild, unpredictable ride of 2020 will also be repeated in the next few years. The CEO of Electronic, Richard Ells, thinks that the way Bitcoin is shaping the monetary system is something he hasn't seen before. The CEO claimed that in the short term, the unstableness of Bitcoin will be anything but drastic when it comes to the crypto market. However, in the long term, for people who have invested, we'll see the bright side of the Bitcoin. One example is when Bitcoin unpredictability had an 80% rebound of its really low price of $3,800, going up to $6,200 in a matter of hours. So for people who had invested in it in the past, even though they might not have seen any results in the short term, it took just a few hours for Bitcoins to rise with a profit of $2,400. Richard Ells also believes that in 2021, Bitcoin will have its all-time high as it's becoming more in demand and even because other cryptocurrencies have been rising all around the world. A couple of months ago, Bitcoin had a pretty good drop of 50%, lowering its value from $7,700 to $3,800 in just a matter of hours. However, that dramatic drop didn't last long, as Bitcoin grew up again by 80%. Experts say that these drastic highs and lows, which happen in a short amount of time, are possibly caused by futures markets. This happens when many businesses are purchasing Bitcoin and not a lot of people are selling them. This makes the price of the currency go down. The moment some institutional investors decide to pull out from investing and sell their digital currency, Bitcoin then decides to drastically increase again. This is all in the investing game of different businesses that are located around the world. That's why it's pretty difficult to predict how Bitcoin will change in value over the next 24 hours. Bitcoin resilience. Many experts believe that even though the global liquidity crisis might destroy many asset classes, Bitcoin will succeed. This is because the booming cryptocurrency has proven its resilience. With every passing year, it shows that it's a very flexible and reliant form of exchange. If you were thinking as to why Bitcoin is so flexible, it's because it tries to avoid the patterns of inflation with paper money. For example, a dollar in the 1980s is worth only 20 cents in today's money because of inflation. But if Bitcoin is still up 50 years from now, this will not happen with its currency. Dan Schatt has predicted that if more investment funds are allowed to be invested in the form of ETFs, Bitcoin might have a huge run. In 2020, the global economy went downhill, but at the same time, Bitcoin prices increased drastically. Experts believe that this is caused by the demand that investors have for the return of their investments. This drives investment product prices, which makes the overall economy function normally. If this goes wrong, then investors that have purchased Bitcoin will likely sell it as a digital currency, which means that Bitcoin will gain a drastic boost out of the situation. Bitcoin's value may decrease to half the price it currently is. Every 4 years, this crypto halves the rates of Bitcoins that are newly created. Experts have found out that due to Bitcoin's prices increasing drastically because of the supply and demand of this digital currency, it might lead to two different situations that can occur during the halving. One possibility is that the price of Bitcoin will decrease dramatically when it comes to assets and products. This will only happen if the supply is too high and the demand is low. Many Bitcoin traders are still skeptical about the next Bitcoin halving. However, they remain pretty optimistic. The CEO of BTCU, Nikolai Yudiansky, claims that usually after Bitcoin halving, the digital currency price will increase again. Although investors need to keep in mind that the two previous halvings have confused Bitcoin investors, because during those years, a lot of people were enthusiastic about investing their money into this popular cryptocurrency. But in the upcoming years, things will be changing a lot when it comes to this situation. There's no longer a small group of cryptocurrencies out on the market. Every year, Bitcoin is having more competitors to deal with. That's why many investors can easily switch up from one currency to another if Bitcoin continues to lower its prices drastically. So it isn't really in Bitcoin's interest to continue this sort of tradition. What do you think Bitcoin has in store for us in the future? Do you think it'll become the next modern currency, or will it just get replaced by another digital currency in the next few years? Be sure to tell us down below in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.